Hello everybody and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for all things Project Zomboid, and this week, Draconian Measures. They are just full of wonderful puns, I swear. This is never-ending flow of hilarious puns out of the Indie Stone team. It's great. This particular week is going to be a very short Mondoid from my end, not because the blog itself is short, but because there's very little for me to discuss and kind of pick apart and talk about as far as Project Zomboid is concerned. The updates are relatively minimal, but there's still some stuff here to talk about. So, as always, without further ado, let's dive right in. So, basically, what this is going to be a big focus on, this particular blog, if you go read it, is the interview. They actually interview Drake. He is known as Wrathlord, I do believe, is where his internet name comes from. And they just talked to him about, you know, what it's like to be part of the community. He's a leader of the community for the most part. He does a lot of modding for them and stuff, and just kind of talk, generally kind of a get-to-know-the community thing, which I actually like. A lot of other games do this. I know Blizzard used to do it. There's a lot of companies who used to do this, where they pick somebody who, in the development or the community management aspect, is relatively important, a relatively big figure, and they interview them just to kind of give you a more personalized look at this particular person, and they do a great job here. I'm not going to go through the interview because there's really nothing for me to kind of, again, pick apart or digest, but Drake is a cool guy. The interview is very, very good. I did read it fully through, and I highly suggest you go check it out, man. He's also from the U.S. like me, so props to finally having another U.S. guy to talk about. So go ahead and check out it. There's some cool information about him if you're interested in that kind of thing. But we're just going to talk about the two things that they bring up as far as updates are concerned. One, the 3D model update. One of the things that I was able to show during the stream, a few weeks back when we were looking at the multiplayer aspect before it was public, was that there was some 3D models being used, which was cool, but it was very much in a testing state, and public multiplayer does not use those 3D models. But the 3D character models are coming very close to being released to everybody. There's some small things taken care of, but for the most part, a lot of the cosmetic bugs are fixed. At least fixed to the point where they're not really worried about bringing them out. One of the bigger bugs they talk about here in particular is that there was a point in development for these things where the skin would kind of clip through the clothing and it would just look bad. The clothing wouldn't look like it fits. They've got that under control now to the point where there's like a pixel or two of skin that pokes through. Again, it's incredibly negligible and you probably won't see it unless you're zooming way the fuck in. So that is all done. So it looks like there is going to be 3D models at least relatively close in our future. I hope so, anyway. I'd like to see it get in, because when I got to see it and got to play with it earlier in the closed multiplayer aspect of the game, it looked great. It looked great. It played great. It felt great. It was a surprising change that 3D models actually brought. Pardon me while I take a sip of my tea. Yeah, it was a surprising change that the models actually brought to the game. I mean, it added a little bit to the atmosphere, but more particularly, it actually just looked really, really smooth. The animations were flawless. Everything just looked fucking good. And I'm looking forward to having that back in the game. So I hope we're getting to a point where we're going to see them very soon. The last thing to talk about is the multiplayer update. So there's obviously some tweaks and fixes coming into Build 25. A lot of that's going to be focused on multiplayer as well, because multiplayer is going to be in Build 24. And one of them is going to be more kind of control for server administrators. So being able to ban people right in game is a really awesome thing. I like that a whole lot. You don't have to go to a whitelist, blacklist thing. It looks like you're gonna be able to just ban people from there. There's a lot of convenience and quality of life options. It seems like there's actually a link to the forum that's going to further expand upon what you can expect in Build 25. But for the most part, like I said, it looks like it is a lot of good. A lot of good quality of life options for system administrators and so on. And, you know, we're looking, again, I'm very impressed with how smooth multiplayer has been for everybody. So, the launch of the public multiplayer, the bugs have been pretty minimal. It's been a lot of fun, and that's really good. So we're going to be able to, the reason that's really good is because we're going to be able to see more developments compounded onto the multiplayer, with the little, as little bugs as there are. It just means that we're going to be able to see more progress in the developmental state of multiplayer as opposed to just bug squashing here, there, and everywhere. And that's cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what that's going to bring. That's really it for the blog. So another short blog, at least on my end, a short Mondoid for me. So I apologize if that's disappointing for you. But, hey, stick around. We're going to have more fun things coming out today as far as videos are concerned. So there's always plenty to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I always do. If you're one of those once-a-weekers, I will see you next week. If you're a regular, I'll see you later today. And as always, I'll see all of you guys next time. Bye-bye.